Hey, Whippersnappers, this is Tortimer the Gray. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Showdown Gray version. This week we are finishing out the UU tier with an Ice-type gym battle. And you guys came out really well this week. A lot of really close battles, so thank you guys. I mean, you guys really almost had me. And a couple of you, I think, at least one of you actually did get me, and I forget who it was right now, but you guys will see here in a minute. But yeah, I think it was a tough week, for sure. Tough week. So thank you guys so much for putting together your Ice-type teams once again and finishing off the UU tier very nicely. Nurion here going up against Lumiere, who I think, unfortunately, is going to potentially sweep through the rest of the team here. No, I switched Lumiere out. That's right. Bring in Goliath. And Abomasnow is going to Mega Evolve, and Goliath is going to go down to hail damage. So he didn't get to do a whole lot there. And then Fumesy comes in. I think I ran out of Fire Blast on Lumiere, if I remember. I think that's why I had to switch him out, because Choice Scarf plus out of PP, you got to get out of there. Fumesy comes in then. Sludge Bombs and then Flamethrowers, finishes off the Abomasnow, and then Avalugg comes in, gets burned, and gonna take a Giga Impact, but Fumesy's too good for that, and Avalugg is going to have to recharge, which gives us a chance to Flamethrower, and then the burn damage will finish off the Avalugg. So yeah, took down my Mega there, but otherwise we're pretty well, just by happenstance, pretty well equipped for Ice types. I haven't had to tweak the team at all the last couple times Ice types has come up, just because it seems to work out. So thank you so much, Gym Trainer Nurion, for coming out this week. I really do appreciate you putting together your awesome team here, and let's see what the rest of you guys have. Here we go. Alrighty guys, welcome back to battle number 2. We're up against Gym Trainer Codeman, and Codeman, man after my own heart, goes for the variety and only has 3 Pokemon on his team. Big Ted comes in, takes hard damage from Blackavar before killing Blackavar, and then Leo comes in to clean up there. Takes a hard explosion from the Cloyster, and then Diamond's going to throw up the Destiny Bond. I throw up the Dark Pulse there, finishing off Diamond. Again, Leo goes down. My Mega is one of the few people to die. Mega and Starter this time, but yeah. So with just 3 Pokemon, managed to kill 2 of my my better ones, although Blackavar being in an Ice-type gym probably doesn't have the best advantage. But thank you so much, Trainer Codeman. I love it when you guys do fewer than 6 Pokemon. Not only does it make it easier for me to beat you guys, which isn't the point, you know, I get beat all the time out here, but it's cool because in the actual Pokemon universe you get teams that are fewer than 6 more often than not. So it's cool. So thank you so much, Codeman, for offering variety in exchange for actual competitive viability. But yeah, thank you so much. Let's check out the next one. Here we go. Alrighty guys, here we go up against Nougat here, and he leads off with his Ice-type Auroras, and I switch Leo out expecting Drake to come in, bringing in Lumiere there, throwing up that Fire Blast, so not predicting as well as I could have, but we get the burn off, which ends up working out pretty nicely. Pringle's taking some damage there, so some familiar faces from Nougat here. Pringles comes up pretty frequently. I think Drake is a repeat. And some of these other ones as well. So Nougat likes to use some of the ones that are from his actual Pokemon cartridge games. He recreates some of his favorite Pokemon there, which is always pretty cool. And so Leo comes out, gonna switch into Hurley. Hurley gets critted, which takes him almost down to half health. And so that's pretty intense for as defensive as Hurley generally is. Throw up the Body Slam, but he's got the Frostlass, which is going to negate pretty much all of what Hurley does. I set up the rest here to heal back up, expecting that they're going to take some time to set up hazards and things like that. And I'm throwing up Sleep Talks here just because while I'm rested I might as well do that. I want Hurley awake before I switch him out. I set up the Sleep Talk here, get Cursed, but I know that as long as Frostlass stays in I can't do anything, so instead I switch out before Hurley wakes up, which was a mistake. But Leo comes in, taking all that damage. Rice sets up the Rock Polish. I go for the Dark Pulse, expecting the switch into the Frostlass. When I don't get it, I bring in Fumesy, because I really don't want, expecting the Freeze Dry there, I really don't want Leo to take that, because I want to save him to try and get rid of Spikes eventually. Fumesy gets frozen, but that same term dethaws, so a little cheaty there, I guess, but Fumsy's going to go down to another freeze dry there, and then Goliath is going to have to come in. Rice sets up the stealth rocks to really cripple our switching ability. Goliath gets a good knockoff off and then is going to finish off Rice here. I think I've got Choice Scarf on Goliath at the moment. I wanted that little extra speed to get some stuff going there, and so he's able to keep going with that. I think I had been running Choice Band on him previously, but he's pretty strong, and so I figured the extra speed would be more valuable. So he's able to come in, clean up a couple of Nougat's lower guys, and then Frostlass is going to come in, go down to 1 HP, and then is going to switch on out. Blackavar, I did put Sucker Punch on Blackavar. A couple of weeks of not having that move, the lack of priority had been causing us issues, and so I decided to go for that. And Search Buds really doesn't have any recourse against that at that point. He's set up and everything, so kind of have to do it, and so able to finish off there. Hurley comes in, is still asleep because I was an idiot and switched him out. He wakes up though on the next turn, used the sleep talk, not expecting that because I figured if you switched out before a rest was complete that the timer would kind of reset sort of deal, and so I didn't expect him to wake up that first turn. Leo comes in, gets toxic, and with all the entry hazard stuff is going to go down, so not going to get a chance to get rid of all of these entry hazards, doing huge damage to Lumiere there. And so Frostlass finally goes down. Nougat's down to his Kyurem, and so he's going to take a hard Fire Blast from Lumiere, but then Lumiere goes down to a Stone Edge, which leaves Hurley and Blackavar left to clean up the mess. Hurley's going to take a Focus Blast and go down, and then it's going to be up to Blackavar, and Blackavar comes in, our starter, our ground-type starter in the Ice Gym, is able to outspeed and get the Earth Power off and finish up the Kyurem there. So, a very tight, close battle there, 30 turns, which is longer than usual, although probably not against Nougat. Usually Nougat's battles are pretty long, even if we're not doing Star Wars. So, Star Wars, it's like Star Wars, but stalling. Anyway, thank you so much, Nougat, for the awesome close battle there. Really appreciate you putting together an awesome team and almost taking me out. Whether you win or lose, close battles are always more fun, and so I appreciate you always giving me a run for my money there. Anyway, guys, we got a couple more to get through, so thank you so much again, Nougat, and let's see what the next couple ones have in store for us. Here we go. Alrighty, guys, here we go up against the Admiral Emulot, and you guys had a lot of Frostlass, a lot of Coisters, a lot of Kyurems this week. Not that that's a bad thing. I mean, in you probably only have so many choices. And we had some cool other guys brought in on each of your teams this week as well. Like we've got a Darnomaka here, a Sharpedo. So you guys tried to go out of the box to try and combat my team, which was really cool. I love to see you guys trying to get creative, and that's a lot of fun. Fumsy comes out getting. Well, we didn't really do much to Frostlass there. Mainly was just trying to not lose somebody to the Destiny Bond, and we finally were able to get the Will-O-Wisp up and finish it off, so that worked out pretty nicely. Lumiere's got to switch out, though, because we've got Choice Scarf on it, obviously. Leonardo comes in, going to Rapid Spin here to get rid of the spikes so that we don't have to worry about that again for another full battle. And the stat lowering on Kyurem keeps Leo alive, but only for an extra turn. We got one Ice Beam off, but thankfully Kyurem is so low special attack wise that even if he hits at this point, it's not really so much of a worry, so I bring Lumiere in. Lumiere is a Draco Meteor there does almost nothing, and the Fire Blast finishes off the Kyurem, so that works out nicely. Blackavar then comes in, the Rock Slide resisted by Blackavar, and the Superpower also resisted, and so he's able to survive those two hits and get the Earth Power up and finish off the Darumaka, so that works out very nicely. Our ground type starter has done some pretty decent work today, considering we're in an ice type gym, so good for Blackavar. Goliath comes in and is going to do some good damage to the Cloister, but not going to have what it takes to survive the Icicle Spear, especially with the defense lowering from the close combat. Hurley, however, is going to be able to come in and take that without any trouble at all, even getting a crit there in the process. But one thing that I didn't anticipate is flinch hacks. And while Hurley can withstand these hits over and over again. He had to take these hits over and over again because I'll tell you what the combo is here in a minute. Admiral Elmiot said it after the exchange ended here, what he had on his cloister that kept that going. I think it's Assault Vest or something or another. But yeah, Hurley finally gets through the flinching and is able to finish off the clip. King's Rock and Skill Link. There we go. King's Rock is the one that was doing the flinching, I think. And so Hurley goes down there, not able to finish off after taking such a beating from the cloister. Went for the body slam as opposed to the rest, just like, okay, I gotta get through here and I just gotta kill this thing. And so he didn't have enough left to finish off the Mamoswine. Fumesy comes in, able to do some good damage to the Mamoswine there, getting it burned, doing some pain splits to get his own health back up. Flamethrower finishing off the Mamoswine there. Then the Sharpedo comes in, gonna crunch on Fumesy, and getting the speed boost there. Lumiere comes in at that point, but Sharpedo's going to set up Protect, and so it's going to get the second speed boost, which is going to make him faster than Lumiere, and even with Choice Scarf, we can't outspeed, and he's going to go ahead and win. So I think Admiral Emiliot might have been my only loss this week. I'll eat those words if something happens in the next two battles, but I'm pretty sure Admiral Emiliot was the only loss I had this week, so good for you. Really appreciate you coming in with a cool, unique team, trying to keep competitive and all that, so that's awesome. And thank you for coming back week after week. It really does. I appreciate so much the support that all of you guys give this series, whether you're just watching it or participating, whatever you guys are doing, I appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. Let's check out what the last two battles have in store for us. Here we go. Alrighty guys, welcome back to the final gym trainer battle for today. We've got our gym leader coming after this, but this is the final gym trainer Devi Khan, and he had another one of those teams where he had kind of he brought the Electivire there. I think he said his goal last week, his sole purpose was to kill Leonardo, because I think Leo swept him last week. And so I think that's probably why the Electivire is there, because and most ice types just can't handle a water type as bulky as Leo. Anyway, so it seems like a sound strategy. Plus, I'm guessing the Electivire probably has some fighting moves and things like that might help him against Hurley as well, which has been another issue for you guys in UU with the ice types ones that have come up repeatedly. So Fumesy handling his own pretty well, though. The power-up punch, yeah, so there's the fighting move. Boosting attack there. Unfortunately, Fumesy is just too defensive, and Levitate really kind of negates any possibility for taking him down there with that Electivire. So Electivire goes out early, not going to be around to help against Leo. And Fumesy's hanging on pretty well. We may not even need to get to Leo here. Fumesy's doing pretty well. So unfortunately then the Blizzard hits and Fumesy goes out. Not as much of a special wall as he is a physical one. So the Burnt Articuno goes out. Samsung comes in and goes down to the Fire Blast immediately. Lumiere switches out. Goliath comes in. The Avalanche doesn't do a whole lot, so we're doing pretty good still there so far. Goliath has the Articuno come in on it. The knockoff comes up, gets rid of the Icicle Plate there. I stay in because, again, we're Choice Scarf, so I expect I can land another one, and I figure that the knockoff plus the burn will finish off the Articuno, which it does. And then the Regice comes in. Gonna switch out into Hurley at this point. Don't want to sacrifice anybody if I don't have to. So Hurley comes in, throws up that body slam. We don't get the paralysis there, but we do force out the Regice, bringing in the Abomasnow, who is not a Yeti, is in fact a big ice-covered Christmas tree. And so Goliath comes in, then at that point takes the Earthquake, which he handles very nicely. And then we're going to throw up the Mega Horn, which is going to finish off the Abomasnow there. And so Goliath is in there taking some icicle damage. So we switch him out, bring in Blackavar, who's unfortunately going to take a Blizzard and go down. But Lumiere is able to come in with the Fire Blast and finish off the Regice. And then they're down to Peaches, their Mamoswine, who's a nice callback to my own Mamoswine, Peaches. And then Leonardo finally makes his way onto the stage there. and he's going to take a freeze dry, but finish the killing blow with the Scald there. So sorry, Devin, that you didn't get a chance to get revenge on Leo, but it's possible he'll show up in another tier at some point, so you may yet get your chance. But yeah, thank you so much, Gym Trainer David. I appreciate you coming in. A cool little team there. Some ones that we didn't really see anywhere else. Articuno, Rotom Frost, some of these other, a lot of you guys, despite being the same type in the same tier, you guys had some very cool, unique combinations. We saw some Pokemon repeatedly, like I think everybody had a Mamoswine on their team, etc. But Mamoswine's awesome, so I can't begrudge you guys that. I would have had a Mamoswine on my team at some point in UU if we hadn't had so many ice types and things like that pop up. But yeah, so there we go. Final gym trainer battle. Now we've got to see what the gym leader has in store for us here. So let's check it out. Thanks again, David Kahn, for coming back week after week. Here we go. Alrighty, guys, here we go against Gym Leader Arctic Animal. Appropriately enough, Mac, who has been the Arctic Animal since the very beginning, had a very nice battle here, so it seemed appropriate to make him the Gym Leader this week. And so Leo comes in to take the Thunder Wave from the Frostlass there. We're going to Mega Evolve, taking a hard Hex, and unfortunately the Paralysis kicks in, and Leo is not going to survive the next hit. And won't be able to get that Dark Pulse up, which we anticipated throwing at the Frostlass, but Lumiere is going to be able to come in and revenge kill for us there. So Lumiere remembered the memory of Leo and finished off the Frostlass there. Then Cloyster comes in, sets up the Shell Smash. Hurley switched in, so he didn't get to move that turn, but going to set up the Curse there. But they switch into Chestnut, so they go ahead and just right on into it. Attempting to take care of Hurley, so I switch into Lumiere, expecting the fighting move coming, which we were lucky to see. I figured Fire Blast, pretty much everything has some ice typing on it, or grass typing, so I figured Fire Blast would do us okay. Didn't do as good as I would have liked, but of course Valorant is also water type, so, there it is. Hurley comes in, sets up the Curse. I think we just go for the... No, we go ahead and switch out this time. Bring in Fumesy. Really don't want to risk Hurley in an ice-type gym. The Thick Fat is far too useful, and I haven't had to rely on him as much this week as I have in previous weeks. But certainly don't want to waste him if we can avoid it. So bring Fumesy in. Fumesy takes care of the Glalie. Takes a hard hit from the Whale Rain, but is able to get the burn up with the Will-O-Wisp there before going down to the Surf the next turn. At that point, we're going to bring in Lumiere, and I'm going to throw up the Energy Ball, doing good damage to the Whale Rain, but the Surf is going to come at us. It wasn't enough to finish off the Whale Rain. Makes sense that he'd be a little bulkier, and Lumiere is going to go down to the next Surf. But Goliath comes in to revenge kill with the knockoff, finishing off the Whale Rain. The Avalog then comes in, and since we're obviously Choice Scarfed, continue to throw up knockoff. It's a useful enough move, whether or not it's going to be super effective, so we go ahead and do that. And then we switch in Hurley, because the boosted knockoff didn't do enough to Avalog, so it wasn't worth leaving Goliath in there to take more damage than necessary. But we switch Hurley out, expecting the low kick, knowing that Goliath will resist it a little bit, and we're going to be able to get the Mega Horn off on Chestnut at least once before they switch into the Cloyster, but the Mega Horn does good damage to the Cloyster as well. Unfortunately, misses the second time against Cloyster, and Goliath goes down to the Rock Blast. So at this point, our Mac has the advantage, up 3-2 on me. Hurley comes in and is able to, with the Body Slam, get the Cloyster nice and low. The Rock Blast does some serious damage, but Hurley's going to hold on with 1 HP, and finish off the Cloyster there. Chestnut comes in with the low kick, though, and is going to finish off. But Black Avar comes in at this point, our starter who we've been saving, gets the Ice Beam off to finish out the Chestnut, and then Avalog comes in, and an Earth Power is going to get him nice and low. I think Mac would have had this in hand if he hadn't taken that turn to set up the Curse, but he did, thankfully for us, and Black Avar is able to finish off with the second Earth Power there. So, whew, very close, 32 turns, a very, very good battle. Thank you so much, Mac, for coming at us this week. Super strong. I guess it makes sense, being the Arctic Animal, that you would really shine in the Ice-type gym. So thank you, Gym Leader Mac, for the awesome battle. Now, we got to jump over and see what we've got in store for next week. So here we go, guys. Be right back. Alrighty guys, welcome here to the spreadsheet where we will determine what we're going to be doing next week. So we need to run encounter type random number generation 1 through 6. So let's do 1 through 6. We will generate and we get a 1. Alright, so 1 is rival battle. Okay, well, perfect. Perfect. So to start out the OU tier, and we are, now that we've done, this week was gym number 6, which as you guys can see in the badge tiers column there in the middle, was the last badge in UU, which means we are starting OU now. So this will be an OU battle. So put together your OU teams, update your rival teams that you guys have been using to an OU level team. I will update my teams this week for the new tier as well. But for those of you guys who have not participated before, but you've been watching and you want to get in and enjoy the fun, just because you haven't battled before doesn't mean you can't get in here. In the description down below, there's a link to the Pokemon Showdown Battle Simulator website. You don't have to register. You don't have to do anything. You just click that link. You don't have to download anything. You just get in there and battle. It's a lot of fun. Even if you don't do it to participate in this series, I encourage people to get on there and do it because it's just so much fun to get on there and do battles. Even if you're just doing it against random people, it's a lot of fun. So if you want to participate in this series, all the information is in the description down below. How to get to Pokemon Showdown, where to find me once you get there, the times and days that I'm going to be available on Pokemon Showdown for you guys to battle me, to record for this series, and all that information in the description down below. But let me highlight this just so you guys are fully aware. We are going to have a rival battle in the OU tier this week, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how your teams have evolved since the last time we saw them. I think it's been a couple of weeks, and so looking for, let's see, oh, it's been a while since we've done a rival battle, since episode 15. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. If you got any questions, leave them in the description down below. But yeah, otherwise I'll see you guys starting tomorrow morning, I guess. Actually, I do have a question for you before you guys all sign off, and hopefully some of you are still here. But I'm trying to use my time the best I can, and it seems like oftentimes the morning slot doesn't really get used. And so I'd love for you guys to give me feedback in the comments down below as to what time slot works best for you. And if you don't, if you're flexible, like if you sometimes do come to the morning time slot, but you're super capable of coming to the noon time slot, noon EST time slot, I'm trying, if I can get rid of the morning time slot, that would really be good for me. I'm starting a new New Year's resolution, trying to get back in shape and stuff, and even just getting ready for work and taking care of the puppy and everything, while also, having to be online from 7 to 8 before work. Usually I'm there and I don't get any challenges. So I just kind of want to get you guys' feedback on that. If there are some of you who participate week in and week out, and that is the only time slot you can get to, that's perfectly fine. I'm able to be around. But if everybody's like, nah, I can come to the lunch when, it's not a big deal, then I might get rid of that morning time slot, just because I could definitely use the time for some other stuff. So just let me know. And I will see you guys on Pokemon Showdown this week, and see you guys there. If you got any questions, put them in the comments down below. But all the details on how to get a hold of me should be in the description. So yeah, I will see you guys there. As always, I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. Make sure those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I'll see you all back here next time. Alrighty, guys, have a good one.